Hi everyone! Welcome back to Bethany's Vintage Fairytale. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I DIY'd a lot of these really cute thrifted items that I've picked up over the past few months. I also shared a lot of these with my last thrift haul if you guys have seen that video. So for the first DIY, we're going to start off with this adorable little planter box that I picked up at Value Village. I think it was like $5 maybe. And we're going to go ahead and give it a brand new coat of paint. So I'm just grabbing a few of my favorite craft paints from Michael's, and we're going to be mixing them together to get a really beautiful custom color. I remember in art class back in high school, my teacher always told me to never just use a paint right out of the bottle. You always want to mix it to get a really pretty custom color. So that's really been instilled with me my entire life, no matter what I'm doing. If it's painting on a canvas or if I'm painting a DIY item, I always like to go ahead and make my own custom color. So I'm just mixing in a few different kinds of reds and pinks, a little bit of brown. I wanted something nice and muted that would go with my shabby chic cottagecore kind of style decor. And we're just going to give this planter box a whole new life here, just with some beautiful paint and then some really cute stamps that I got from Christmas. So we're going to start off just giving this a really good coat of paint. With craft paint, you're going to want to probably do at least 3 to 4 coats just to make sure that you get a really nice opaque layer. You don't want to see any of the other previously painted items on here, so make sure to give it a really good coat of paint and then let it dry in between each layer. So now that we have it all completed, I wanted to go ahead and paint on some cute little vines and leaves here. I'm just kind of having fun with this, honestly. I wasn't really sure what I wanted this DIY to be. I was just kind of playing with it and just kind of making some cute little designs here. And you guys will kind of see, like, later on, we're going to shift gears a little bit, but that's what I love about crafting is there's no right or wrong way to craft, honestly, you guys. Just do what you feel and just kind of go for it. There's really no right or wrong way, and I just love painting. It's so relaxing. Just put on your favorite show and then just go to town and create some beautiful art. It's so much fun, honestly, you guys. Now that I have all of the vines painted on my box, I thought it would be really fun to go ahead and layer in these beautiful vintage stamps that my husband got for me for Christmas. I absolutely love these, you guys. He got them on Amazon in a really big pack, and I just love all the variety that they have. And they're really nice as well because they're translucent. So when we Mod Podge these onto the box, you're still going to see the beautiful vines that I've already painted underneath. And I really like that kind of layered effect. It really lends itself well to my kind of shabby chic cottagecore kind of feel. And it's really easy to apply these. All you do is put a little bit of Mod Podge underneath, and then you're going to want to seal them on top as well with a little bit more Mod Podge. And then what I'm doing is I'm just kind of layering these throughout the entire box. Just, again, no right or wrong way, just kind of placing them wherever they fit and just kind of getting that beautiful layered effect. I love how this turned out, you guys. It was such a fun and simple DIY, and I just kind of styled it in my little windowsill here, and I put some faux IKEA plants inside for now. I might change this up and put some flowers in there for springtime, but I just love how it came together and how you can see all of those beautiful stamps. For our next DIY, I wanted to try to recreate something that I saw on Pinterest and kind of give it my own spin. So when I found this beautiful frame at the thrift store, I just thought it was the perfect canvas to try out my DIY. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to go ahead and give it a coat of fresh paint. You can tell that the owner that had it previously had already painted this once because the paint was really inconsistent all over the frame here. So I wanted to make sure that I gave it a really nice coat here. Again, using the same craft paint. So doing at least, I would say, about 3 to 4 coats, depending on how opaque you want the color to be. And where all of the scrolly parts are on the frame, I really tried to get in there with my paintbrush to make sure that I get a really nice even coat, because before it was really like not well painted, so there was kind of like black paint underneath. So I wanted to make sure that I covered up all of that here. And I absolutely love the color that this came out to be, but it was really funny. I held this up to my living room wall color and it's actually the exact same color, and I did not intend for that at all. And so it just didn't really quite work because it was literally the exact same color. I don't know how I managed to make the same color, but anyways, what I did was I went ahead and just mixed up the same color, but I put in a lot more white to just kind of tone it down a little bit, because I didn't want it to kind of be washed out when I would put this on the wall here. So I tried to just make like a lighter version of this sage color here. And that's the beauty of mixing in paint. You can change it up so much, or you can repaint it like I'm doing here if you get the wrong color. So it's a really forgiving project, which I love as well. Next, I wanted to add in a little bit of gold paint just to accentuate the frame a little bit more. So I have this beautiful gold metallic paint on hand, and what I'm doing here is I'm just going ahead and dry brushing the gold paint on wherever there's like the raised parts of the frame here. I really wanted to highlight the beautiful scrolly nature of this frame and all of the beautiful ornate details that it had. So what you want to do is you just want to get a tiny bit of paint on your brush and kind of stipple it on. You don't want to get a lot of paint on here. The idea is to kind of dry brush it on so that you just get a really nice like layer, and then you can also use your finger to kind of buff it out if you get a little bit too much gold in one area. But this just really helps to highlight the frame even more and just give it so much depth and dimension. I absolutely love using this kind of more gold sheer paint. Michael's also has a similar color to this, but also in a champagne, which I use a lot at Christmas time. But I just love how this came out. I feel like it looks so regal and it looks so pretty next to like the darker green color of my living room walls. I absolutely love this so much, you guys. And you could do this in so many different colors too and finishes, and it would just be so beautiful no matter what you chose. So I love getting these kind of old scrolly frames, just giving them brand new life, and I'm so excited with how this color combo came together. So for the next part of this DIY, I wanted to hang something in the middle of this frame because there's no backing to this frame. There was no glass. It was literally just the frame when I bought it. So I got this cute little foam craft heart from the dollar store, and also these flowers are also from the dollar store. And what I wanted to do is just take off all of the leaves and the flowers, and then we're going to hot glue it directly onto this styrofoam heart here. You can see that I already tried to poke them into the styrofoam without using hot glue, but they just kept kind of falling out because the styrofoam was so thick. So I definitely recommend using some hot glue just to make sure that you get a really nice strategic hold here. And then I'm using the leaves from those flowers as well as the actual flowers themselves just to give it a really organic feel and keep it that really nice kind of color of springtime. And then when I was attaching all of the flowers and greenery, all I did was I covered the front of the heart and then the sides. I didn't worry about the back of the heart because this is going to be hanging in the middle of that frame, so you're not going to see the back at all. So don't worry about covering that. It will save you a lot of time and materials as well. So next, to hang up this little heart on the wreath here, I just used my hot glue gun and attached a little bit of satin ribbon just to the back here. And then we're just going to simply tie it onto the very top of the frame here. And the nice thing about this DIY is if eventually I don't want to have the heart here, I can go ahead and just untie it and then use the frame for something else. I've also seen on Pinterest like people layering frames like kind of all together in like little groupings, and I thought that was so pretty too. So after Valentine's Day, I might go ahead and take down this little heart here, but I just love this. I think it is so cute, and it doesn't even have to be just for Valentine's Day. Like honestly, I love decorating with hearts and like love themed items like all year round, because I don't know, it doesn't need to be just for Valentine's Day. So I really love how this came together. Let me know in the comments down below which DIY you're enjoying so far. So for our next DIY, I picked up these little hearts at the dollar store actually, and I wanted to kind of make a little bit of like a tabletop decor piece. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of pulling off the stickers from the one side. I'm not pulling off the entire thing because you're not going to see it, but on the sides you can kind of see like where the sticker kind of like overhangs off of the actual piece here. So I wanted to make sure that the edges were nice and seamless so that you weren't getting like weird stickers hanging out here. And then what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be hot gluing them together. I just wanted something a little bit more substantial here, so that's kind of why I'm going ahead and doing this. And I decided to use 4. I thought that was a really good kind of amount just to get a really nice little tabletop decor piece. And then I'm just using my hot glue gun to secure these all in place. And then when you get to the very top, you're going to want to make sure you put it the other way because you don't want to be painting on top of where the stickers are. It's going to look really rough and not very well finished. So I made sure the top to just put it backwards so that I get a really nice clean finish on the very top here. And then I had a little bit left of that pink paint from the other DIY that we were doing, so I decided to paint this one pink as well. And then again, I think I did about 3 or 4 coats on this one too. So next I wanted to add on this really cute little page that I had left over from one of my other DIYs. This is actually a page from an old Jane Eyre book that I've had for a long time. And I'm just kind of going ahead and laying it on top of the heart and roughly tracing out the shape of the heart. Don't worry if the sides don't quite go all the way. We're going to be Mod Podging some flowers around the border of this here, so you won't even notice that part. This is just to kind of get a rough estimate on how the heart should look, and then we're going to go ahead and cut that out. So now that we have that little rough shape of a heart cut out, we're going to go ahead and attach this just with some Mod Podge here. I'm doing a generous coat underneath, and then we're going to do a coat on top as well, just to make sure that it's really nicely secure. So next I found these adorable little bunny napkins the last time I was at HomeSense, and I just could not resist, you guys. I thought these were so cute, and the pack was ginormous. There are so many of these, so I have lots left over for a tablescape that I'm going to share with you guys for Easter, and then a lot to craft with, which I thought was perfect. I absolutely love collecting a lot of different vintage napkins for Mod Podge projects. They just look so cute, and you can never have too many, honestly. I love collecting really pretty napkins. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and kind of fussy cut around the part of the napkin that we like the most. I'm trying to like mainly get the ones with the beautiful roses here. And then we're going to be essentially kind of Mod Podging these around the border of the heart, almost kind of like trickling down the sides. And then the point here is you really want to get a really nice layered look. So once you go around the perimeter once, I kind of repeat that about 2 or 3 times just to make sure that I get a really nice layered effect. You'll kind of notice too on the napkins, like there's that perforated edge around the corner of the napkin. I tried to make sure that I put that part of the napkin and then like the plain flat edge of the napkin, if that makes sense, evenly throughout the entire design. I hope that makes sense if you guys know what I mean, but I'm just kind of essentially kind of Mod Podging all of the little bits and pieces around the perimeter here, just kind of layering them to get that beautiful effect. I love Mod Podging with napkins because they have that beautiful crinkly kind of organic feel to them, and it just lends itself so well to that shabby chic decor that I love so much. So here's how it turned out, you guys. It's such a simple tabletop decor piece, but I think it is so darling, and I absolutely love the romantic touch this brings, especially paired next to my hydrangeas. I think it is just so cute. Let me know if you guys love this one as much as I do. So for our next DIY, I went to my local fabric store a few weeks ago and I found these adorable fabrics here. I thought they were super nice for springtime, and I wanted to kind of create basically a little garland on our fireplace mantle that would resemble like a little clothesline. I thought that would be super cute. So what we're going to be doing here is I'm just kind of going ahead and tracing out a heart here. I'm just freehanding this. I wanted this to look very kind of homemade and just kind of, I don't know, kind of that Anne of Green Gables kind of style, something that she would make and just string up in her room. I thought that would be super cute. So what I'm doing is I'm just going ahead and I layered the fabric right sides together. I traced out my heart, and then we're going to go ahead and cut these out. I did 10 of the flower print, and then I did 10 of the swirly print as well, which actually ended up being the perfect amount for our mantle here. And depending on what kind of garland size that you like, you could go a lot more, you could do less if you wanted more space in between them, but you guys will kind of see later how it looks, and it's really personal preference. And then once I have the first heart cut out, I used that template to cut out all of my other hearts. I just laid it on top of the fabric and then went ahead and kept tracing and cutting until I got the right amount of hearts that I needed for my garland. So next is the really fun part, you guys. We're going to go ahead and stuff these with some really cute little filler here. So I'm just going to take my hot glue gun and we're going to go ahead and just put a thin line of hot glue all the way around the heart. And then you want to make sure you leave at least 1.5 inches open so that we can put the stuffing in. And then you're just going to make sure to do wrong sides together. You want to make sure to see the fabric on this side. I kind of like the raw edge as well because, like I said, I wanted it to be kind of that homemade-esque Anne of Green Gables kind of vibe. So I like the little bit of raw edge. I think that gives it a little bit of personality. And then once you have the hot glue in place, go ahead and just press it down to make sure that it's nice and dry. And then you can go ahead and add in your stuffing. I had some leftover stuffing from an old throw pillow that I wasn't using, so I'm going ahead and just kind of pulling it apart to get it nice and fluffy, and then we're going to go ahead and stuff the hearts. Be careful not to overstuff them because since it is just hot glued, it's not the most sturdy thing, so if you overstuff it, you're going to burst the glue. So just make sure to do just a little light layer here. You don't need these super full, just a little bit to get that kind of plush look. And then once you have the desired amount of fluff in here, you're going to go ahead and seal the little edge here, just using a little bit more hot glue and then using your fingers to press that edge down. Be really careful not to burn yourself. The glue often comes out through the side, so be really careful not to burn yourself here. And then here's how it looks when they're all completed. I think these are just so darling, you guys. They're so much fun to create and super easy. I was even thinking about it while I was creating this, that you could do something like this for Easter if you wanted to do Easter eggs, or Christmas. You could make little bells or trees. I think those would be so cute as well. Really, the sky is the limit for honestly what you could create with this. So the next part is super simple. All I did was I hung up a piece of lace on my mantle here, and then I found these adorable little clothes pegs at my local dollar store, which oh my gosh, these killed me. They are so cute, you guys. And then all I'm doing here is just attaching it directly to the lace. And then I'm just going to alternate the prints so that we have the flower one and then the terracotta one, then the flower one, and just kind of repeating that throughout the entire garland here. And this is just such a simple DIY, but I just couldn't resist. It just gives me all of the cottagecore vibes, and I just love having it styled in my home for Valentine's and also into springtime as well. So we're going to end off on a super easy DIY, you guys. This was such a simple idea, but I really thought it turned out really cute in the end, so I thought I would share it with you guys. I found these beautiful frames at HomeSense recently, and I just absolutely love the paper that they already had in them. It was just the perfect thing to go with my Valentine's Day kind of shabby chic decor, and I just love them so much. I really wanted to find a way to use it, but just to cover up that square in the middle that had the brand and like the size of the frame. So I had a lot of these stamps left over from our first DIY, and I thought this would be so cute to kind of Mod Podge these just in the center of the paper to cover up that little square, and then also to kind of feature some of these gorgeous stamps. These are absolutely beautiful, and I thought it would be such a fun way to kind of spruce up these frames using the paper that was already in them. So I'm just going ahead and opening up all of the frames. I'm just going to remove all of the filler that was already inside, and then we're just going to grab the paper that's in there and Mod Podge the stamp directly onto that little square in the middle. So I'm just using a light coat of Mod Podge here, just right in the center, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our cute little stamp, and then you're going to want to go ahead and seal it on the top as well, just to make sure that it sticks really well. And then I don't know if you guys have seen this, but on Instagram lately, I've been seeing this a lot where people take prints that they've printed out at Walmart and then they paint Mod Podge all over them in kind of different directions, almost like brush strokes. And it kind of makes the painting look a little bit like a vintage art piece. So I kind of thought I would do the same thing with this, because once I had put the Mod Podge over the stamp, you could really tell that the middle had Mod Podge and then the rest of the paper was super glossy. And I didn't want it to look, you know, really odd that there was just something random in the middle. So what I did was I tried to recreate that idea that I saw on Instagram and just kind of painted brush strokes all over the page, just kind of in every direction, like no rhyme or reason, just kind of going for it with the Mod Podge. And you guys will see at the very end, it gives this beautiful kind of crackly old world feel to it, and took down the shine, a lot of the glossy paper that was in here, just to go a little bit better with my classic vintage decor that I love so much. And then once all of my pages were dry, I just went ahead and placed those back in the frames and then put all of the filler in there as well. And I just love how this came together, you guys. Let me know if you guys like this kind of DIY. I know it's really super simple, but I just thought it was kind of a fun way to use what I already had and just kind of went for it. And I just love my stamps so much, so I really wanted a way to kind of highlight them. But yeah, I think this was such a fun, simple idea. And if I ever wanted to change these out, it's so simple just to remove the paper and put a new art print in here. So yeah, I thought it was really versatile and super cute. Let me know what you guys think. I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, seeing how I DIY'd with all of these items that I picked up at the thrift store and some items from the dollar store. I had so much fun putting this together, and I appreciate your guys' patience so much. I've been so busy the last few weeks, you guys. It's been so hard to find time to do editing and filming, so thank you guys so much for still being here and supporting my channel. It means so much to me. I hope that you guys found some inspiration on how you can DIY with some simple things that you find wherever, the dollar store, the thrift store, and you can make it beautiful and transform your home on a budget. I really hope that you guys enjoyed these today and found this video helpful. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next one very soon. Take care. Bye.